What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today we're going to be playing a little support Aurora. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Auto Health Potion, Ruthless, Healing Towers, Mana Reactor, Damage Return, and lastly, Onslaught for my gems. Now for my cards, I have Lamplighters, Armored Footman, Exoskeleton, the Mother Tree, Green Spring, Protective Sentry, Growth Totem, Vital Waters, Thunder Cleaver, Trapper, Unbroken Spirit, and lastly, Godmother Vigilant. Now, I didn't freeze this lane because our Twin Blast said he was going to play pretty aggressive in the draft lobby, so I said, you know what, I'm not just going to waste my time freezing it if he's just going to instantly push the lane. So, you know, there's no sense in freezing it. And you can see here, you know, where he's pushing the lane. So, really, freezing that lane, it would do absolutely nothing. But, hey, that's not really an issue as of right now. Their duo lane has not shown up, and you can see Decker heads over here, but they actually have a Wukong and a Twin Blast in the solo lane. So they're just having a bit of a team communication issue, and this is actually really going to cost this early game. You can see Decker heads over, and then she's going to slowly rotate to that duo lane. And then Wukong's going to head over here, so they're kind of going with that old school method, but, you know, in the long run, it's really going to cost them. Now, I'm going to go ahead and help push this lane, you know, especially since we have a siege wave, but, you know, again, guys, don't steal your ADC's farm if you can help it. You can get them low if you really want to push that lane, but try not to steal it. And we're going to get, you know, quite a bit of damage onto this tower. Now, I offer almost nothing as far as structure damage as of right now. So there's really no need for me to go under tower. This is going to allow me to, you know, peel if I need to, or root somebody that's, you know, coming through the jungle, things like that. And, you know, that's pretty big. So there's really no need for me to go into tower. And you can see, again, I'm just kind of waiting around, so keeping an eye on to that fog wall, so if I need to, you know, do something different, I can. Now, one reason I chose Aurora is I really wanted to see how her and Terra perform together. You know, right now everybody's still picking Terra, so I wanted to see how Terra reacts with that ultimate. If she can block my cryoseism, if, you know, Terra can stun me whenever I use my Ice Clone, you know, just things like that. I really wanted to check all what Aurora has to offer, because, you know, Aurora's ultimate is not just a CC, it does do damage, and, you know, can Terra completely get out of that? You know, can she block Horrorfrost and not get rooted? You know, these are all just things that I kind of wanted to see. So we're going to go ahead and pick her, and we know there's going to be a Terra on the enemy team. So hopefully we'll be able to see something. Now, we're just at about 4 minutes in, and I'm going in on that tower. Now, the reason I did that is because I wanted Wukong to kind of focus me instead of going after Twin. We are, like I said, 4 minutes in, so we should be expecting a gank, but we haven't really had one yet. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that either. And being pretty full on mana and very healthy, you know, hey, we're doing all right. Now, Wukong is pretty low, so I'd like to go get a Horrorfrost on him, and I go ahead and throw that Horrorfrost down, and Twin Blast is here just, you know, hitting him. And he can't back out because, you know, he was surrounded by that circle, and then we're able to take him out, no problem. I went ahead and hit Wukong, so I got tower aggro, and Twin Blast could safely attack. And you can see from here, we're able to just really get some damage on this tower. And taking down a tower at 5 minutes, you know, that was pretty standard in the earlier, you know, that was pretty standard at when we had the 2v1 lanes, and, you know, hey, that really hasn't changed. So the 2v2 lanes has really increased that laning phase, or just, you know, really that laning time. And, you know, it is what it is. I think now with offlaners being very strong, things like that, and everybody kind of getting some, you know, these few little changes, it might be better to do the 2v2 lane and, you know, not risk the 5-minute tower. You can see Arrg is doing a phenomenal job of holding them off. Of course, they weren't in lane near as much, and that's what really freed us up to get that 5-minute tower. But still, guys, you know, 5-minute tower, having a tower down at 5 minutes instead of 15 minutes completely changes the way the game is played at that point. Now we're going to go ahead and put on green spring, and then head back to our lane, get ready for our counter push. Of course, we are facing a Wukong, so we can't just allow him to freely push lanes. You know, he's definitely going to be an issue. And, you know, just remember, get back to your lanes, get ready for counter pushes, things like that, and you'll be okay. Now, this deck, you know, I've got wards in this deck, which, you know, are important, but I really don't even use them because, you know, well, they're clearly having quite a bit of team miscommunication, and you can, you know, just with the way they've done their lanes, their jungler hasn't shown up a single time in this duo. I guess we'll just call it safe lane for this match, but they haven't shown up a single time so far, and, you know, we're 7 minutes into the match, which that's big. You know, it is a Kallari jungler, and, you know, Kallari junglers take a little longer to come online, but still, you know, there should definitely be some presence, and we just haven't seen a whole lot. Now, I'm going to kind of rotate, you know, Twin was kind of pushing up a little unsafe there, and, you know, there's no point in pushing up that, you know, pushing up that far, especially this early on in the match. It's better to, you know, back up and, you know, make something else happen. Now, Gideon does ult in right whenever I was about to ult, which saves me because I'm going to go ahead and ult. And, you know, we're able to put some damage on everybody. I got to get out, though. You know, Green Spring's nice, but it's definitely not a key to success at this point. We are healing up a little bit, and, you know, hey, that's great, but I'm just going to go ahead and back. We used that ultimate, and we were able to take out both Gideon and Kallari, which, you know, that's absolutely huge. And from here, I'm going to throw on the Mother Tree. This is really going to, again, free me up to stay in lane a lot longer. You know, at these early stages of the match, Aurora doesn't have just an entire lot, you know, other than her ultimate. So we want to get that Onslaught gem on as soon as possible and really help our team. You know, we need to start thinking about picking up Raptors, especially after getting that mid lane down. So, you know, we're starting off very, very strong. Just with the enemy team not communicating as well, that jungler not having a whole lot of presence, and when he does have presence, you know, he's going down. Things like that, you know, that's absolutely huge. Now, we're not the only team that's not communicating well. I pinged Fang a couple of times, and, you know, I'm trying to use those ice clones to, you know, take off some of that damage. But we are only level 5, and we end up going down. You know, I decided to just go down with Fang because, you know, no one got the bounty, and I didn't want Twin to take a whole lot of damage. From here, I head over to our solo lane. We're able to take out this Kallari, you know, definitely get one hero out, and, you know, using that ultimate, I don't like using ultimates, or especially Aurora's ultimate, if I'm not gonna get a kill. So we definitely took care of one of them, and, you know, then I'm gonna head over to this Twin Blast, and hopefully we can take Twin Blast out. Now, once Decker got that stun, guys, it's time to leave. They're going to get away, you know. It's very difficult to close the distance like that, so it's best just to leave them alone, go back to your lane, and get it set in the right direction. Now, I'm going to head back to my Twin Blast at this point. You know, I've been away from him for a while now, so definitely want to head back to him. We're able to kind of head in from the side to that Wukong. It chased him off a little bit, but we're going to actually push this lane all the way to the T2, which, you know, it's probably not the best decision, but being able to throw that Hoarfrost down right before Gideon used his ultimate, really saved me because Wukong couldn't come into that ultimate. And, you know, we actually end up turning this fight around. And Wukong's hurting, you know, Twin Blast is definitely chipping away on him fairly well. But, you know, it's really not smart to push this T2. You know, as of right now, you know, we should really get out of this situation. We know there's a couple of enemies here. We don't know where their mid laner is, you know, everything like that. But, hey, if we're going to go in, let's go all the way in. We're able to take out Wukong. Of course, we still don't have vision on that mid lane. And that's a bit of an issue. And you can see their Kallari shows up, takes out Twin Blast. You know, and this is one reason you really don't want to force towers as much as you can. You know, it's one thing if you have a pretty decent collapse, but it's completely something else if you're just forcing a tower without having vision, things like that, you know, and that's exactly what we were doing. Having that vision is critical within Paragon, so really just forcing those lanes, you know, it's best to avoid that, and you can see exactly what happens. Although, you know, I would say we kind of came out better in that fight, even though we did lose our ADC. You know, we got some T2 damage on 2 towers. We took out a jungler and a solo laner, which is, I guess, a carry in a way. So, you know, I would say we kind of came out on top. But, you know, that was a completely needless death on Twin Blast's part. We didn't need to be that aggressive. Now, from here, you know, it's perfect time to pick up Fang. And sure enough, you know, we have some team collapse this time. You know, after that last time, I went ahead and told everybody, hey, guys, please collapse on Fang. And sure enough, they did that this time, you know, and it works great. Now, Twin Blast, you know, he's a lane pusher at this point. And, you know, he's doing a fairly decent job. But we're going to go ahead and be able to take him out. You know, me and Terra, Terra stun, guys. AoE stun, oh, man. It's so good. But, you know, we are kind of, we've lost our jump pads now, so, you know, I wouldn't say we're winning the tower game anymore, although, you know, we do have a couple of our tier 2s up. Our solo lane is, you know, having that tier 2 down is definitely going to hurt us, even though we have made some incredible plays. And with having 2 Fangtooths, you know, they're only going to get stronger. Now, I am going to head over to Twin Blast. You know, Twin Blast is very far out of position, and with Kallari showing up, you know, I'm going to do my best appeal for him, but, you know, Kallari ends up taking him out. And, you know, that was just because he's playing entirely too aggressive, especially without having a support with him. And, you know, hopefully, Twin, if you're watching this video, hopefully you can see that maybe that's not always the best choice. You know, pushing lanes is very nice and everything like that, but you definitely want to wait for the right time and place to do that, and you definitely, as the ADC, want somebody with you. You can't do it by yourself. But, you know, hey, no problem. It is 17 minutes in. You know, we've got 2 Fangtooths, and, you know, we've got some presence. You know, they are pushing a few lanes, but hopefully with me and Twin here, we'll be able to stop this Wukong. And, you know, again, we don't have any vision on the map. We can't see any enemies. So, you know, pushing unsafe right now is just kind of a bad deal. And sure enough, Wukong, you know, he goes all out trying to take down that tower, and we're able to just absolutely delete him with me, Twin, and Kallari here. But again, we don't have any vision of any of the enemies right now, and to be quite honest, I have no idea what they're doing, guys. We go ahead and head to Fang. You know, it's time to pick up Fang. I'm gonna go run around the top side of it, so, you know, just in case I see some enemies circling around. And then from here, you know, we go in on Fang. Now, Gideon does show up, and he ults right away, which, you know, he didn't get everybody, and we're going to be able to just CC him to death, you know. we take him out fairly easily. Kallari is here, so we definitely got to be aware of Kallari. You know, I am trying to use that route and everything like that, but, you know, Kallari ends up stealing that. And this is an issue that I've seen just an absolute ton lately, where when the enemies come in, everybody still attacks Fangtooth. Guys, stop attacking Fangtooth. If you quit attacking Fangtooth, the enemy team won't be able to one-shot it and steal it. If you continue to attack it, you're just setting yourself up to get it stolen from you. And that's exactly what happened here. That's happened in a ton of my videos. Guys, when the enemy team shows up, stop attacking Fangtooth and focus on the enemy. And then once you kill the enemy, then it will be easy to go back to Fangtooth and finish Fangtooth up. Now, I've done a lot of rotations this match, and, this has put me behind a little bit on level. I am level 9, which, at 19 minutes in, I would hope I'm higher than level 9. But, we've done quite a bit of rotations, things like that. Now, I do put some pressure in this lane, and, we get some enemy rotation, which is kind of what we want. We want some rotation from the enemies, so, we can either take care of them or push other lanes, things like that. Nothing was really happening at that point, and sure enough, Decker showing up, we're able to take her out fairly easy. Now, I'm going to try to go zone out Wukong with Gideon behind us, and then Twin Blast staggers, he comes in staggered as well, and I'm going to head up to the top of the Fang Pit to try to take him, or, face off with him, but, they end up taking him out before I could even get there. And you can see we get a couple of staggered deaths there. We do lose Morgesh, but, that we kind of forced enemies to react to that push that we had, and this really allowed us to, make some plays, force some people out, and, hey, that's really what we want. Now, Wukong is here, he's going in on 2 Terra, and, hey, we're able to take him out, no problem. Kalari heads in, and, Kalari, although she is pretty slippery, if you have vision on her, she's very easy to kill. Sure enough, we're able to kill her. Now, Terra just dives this. That was bad. I tried to use my clone to pull aggro, but I knew it wouldn't, but I tried. And, hey, it is what it is. She ends up somehow getting out. I don't know, guys. She somehow got out of that. And we go in and poke the inhib a little bit. But with the enemy team all showing up, hey, we need to get out. Luckily, Gideon doesn't have his ultimate anymore. And, I'm going to head over to him to make sure that, Gideon doesn't take out our twin. With the healing that I have, with Green Spring, I'm not healing all the way back up, but I've got some pretty decent regen. And while my team is pushing that inhib, I'm going to head over to the mid inhib. We've got we've got a minion wave on it, so I'm going to head to it, and hey, let's get double inhibs here. Like, why not? And you can see that tower's going to go ahead and target me. I use my ice clone to, get rid of that aggro, and, we're able to take out that tower. I really thought my team was going to rotate after they downed that other inhib, but, hey, it is what it is. We end up taking out. Kalari got a couple of shots on it, and, hey, that's great. Now, like I always say, I wish I would have survived, but, it is what it is. We did end up getting that mid inhib, which, a support dying for an mid inhib is absolutely worth it. We have not had the best team communication this game, on both sides of this, guys. And, or both teams, rather. And, that's partly my fault. The pinging system, they really got to fix this pinging system. But we end up going in on Gideon, and we're able to take him out. I did use an ult for basically 1 kill, but hey, is what it is. Now, Decker ends up using her ult, and hey, we forced out that ultimate for nothing, and that's huge. That is a huge team ultimate right there. And, hey, forcing that out, it's definitely worth it. Now, one thing I really like about this deck, I do have wards, so if I needed to use wards, I could definitely do it, but just with the way Twin Blast is playing, I haven't chose to use wards because, he's pushing up very far, he's playing very, very aggressive, and, he's not freezing lanes, anything like that, so, spending 8 or 900, 1200 gold on wards is going to be absolutely pointless because, they're not going to be used because we're constantly pushed up. So, you know, I've chosen not to do that. But this deck, I really like the variety that you have with it. You can play with Trapper, you know, or you can build offensive if you want, or you can build defensive. And, you know, Godmother, although it's not that powerhouse of a card it once was, it's still a very solid card. So, you know, having those options as well as, you know, wards is always nice on your support. But again, you know, you can wait for the time to actually use those wards. Now we go ahead and pick up our third Fangtooth, and if you saw there, you can jump over that as Aurora. And, you know, that's just one thing to keep in mind. You can't use your Glacial Charge. If you use that, that actually takes you to the ground, but you can use that Frozen Statue, whatever it's called. You can use that to actually, you know, jump over that wall. Now, I'm actually going to back to base. You know, I want to get rid of this push from Twin Blast. You know, Twin Blast has been pushing quite a bit. And, you know, hey, we need to go deal with that. And sure enough, we're able to take care of that problem. No problem. And, you know, from here we head to mid. Now, I want to get rid of Wukong's green buff as quickly as possible. Sure enough, we're able to take that out. And then, you know, Gideon comes in, and I counter Gideon's ult with my ultimate. This is going to allow us to just absolutely delete Wukong. And, you know, I'm hoping to actually be able to deal with Gideon, but, you know, hey, he gets out, and we're able to take out that third inhib as well. So, you know, at 27 minutes in, this game is pretty much over, especially with us still having all of our inhibs up, and, you know, we've even got a couple of T1, we got a T1 and a T2 up. So, you know, it's going to be very hard for them to turn this around, but is what it is. Now, we end up going down here at the core, you know, and this 28-minute match really turns into a 38-minute match, something like that, guys. I'm going to skip all that. I'm just kind of go show what actually ended it. You know, we never had our team just collapse onto the core. We even took Prime, and, you know, with Prime, we still didn't have team collapse. You know, this was not only on us, but dealing with this Turtle Shell team is tough. But the play that really ended it was we got that double kill, as well as, you know, we got their ADC. So it's right now a 4v2 match, and this is what really ended this match for us. You know, you can see we got Fangtooth another time. It's you know, I really hope Epic does something about this, and, you know, really fixes the issues where, you know, the Turtle Shell teams, fighting them is not fun. You know, like I said, this was a maybe 28, 29-minute game, and it's been 7-8 minutes of just us bashing our heads against the walls because, you know, which, like I said, it's not only on us, but, you know, it's just, this isn't enjoyable. You know, half the, or a third of this match has been spent just trying to win it, you know, right at the end. And I don't know, I really don't enjoy that, and I really hope that Epic does something to discourage that or change it or something. I don't know how to fix it. It's just, you know, it is definitely kind of irritating. But we go ahead and wrap this match up, and, you know, hey, gotta win. You know, I didn't really get to see a whole lot of Terra play there, you know, which, you know, the enemy team didn't have a Terra. That I couldn't believe that they didn't have a Terra, but, you know, hey, is what it is. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this Aurora support guide. You know, this match didn't turn out the way I'd like, but it was pretty fun. Well, if you did enjoy, show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing, join our Discord if you haven't done it. I'd love to play with y'all, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.